Welcome to the Workplace Minute, powered by H3HR Advisors and sponsored by WorkHuman. Thanks for joining me for a quick update on what's important in the world of work. My name is Steve Boese. Today in the Workplace Minute, with Valentine's Day coming up this Saturday, let's talk about love, loss, and whether work should make a little bit more room for both. Let's break it down. Picture this. Your partner of 4 years ends your relationship the night before you're supposed to lead a make or break presentation for a huge client. You barely sleep. Your phone is full of old photos that you can't bring yourself to delete. Your friends are texting and calling. Your brain is foggy. Your chest feels like it weighs 100 pounds. And at 9 a.m., you're expected to show up polished, upbeat, razor sharp, and ready to close the deal. We've all been there or close to it. Heartbreak's not a minor inconvenience. It's disorienting, emotional, and sometimes even physically painful. Yet in most organizations, the expectation is simple. Keep it together, get to work. A new report from Zety is shining a light on this idea with a concept they're calling heartbreak leave, which is employer-provided time off for employees dealing with the end of a romantic relationship. And when you look at the data, you start to understand why the idea is getting some attention. Workers in the survey describe breakups as major life events that dramatically affect their focus, motivation, and productivity. And many respondents admit they've cried at work, struggled to complete their tasks, or made mistakes because they were dealing with an emotional fallout. And many would say they would value formal time away from work to recover, similar to how organizations think about things like bereavement leave, mental health days, or time off for caregiving responsibilities. In other words, employees are already paying a productivity price from heartbreak. The only question is whether we acknowledge it. And what's interesting about this conversation, especially for HR and business leaders, is that it sits right at the intersection of performance and humanity. We know that people do their best work when they feel supported. We know stress and emotional strain reduce cognitive capacity. And we know empathy from managers helps build trust. Yet when the trigger is romantic loss, we often default to awkward jokes, raised eyebrows, we look the other way, and really have the silent assumption that adults should handle these matters privately. But why? If someone loses a family member, we understand. If someone is sick, we understand. If someone is overwhelmed caring for a child or for one of their elderly parents, we typically understand. Love may be personal, but its impact absolutely shows up at work. And the Zety findings suggest employees are ready for organizations to catch up. Now, I can already hear some of you saying, oh, come on, people break up all the time. They simply need to toughen up. We can't run business this way. And I get it. Policies need to be practical, and abuse is always a concern. But let's be honest about the alternative. The alternative is that heartbroken employees come to work anyway, distracted, exhausted, unhappy, trying to push through something that's very real to them. Is that better for customers? Or for workplace safety, for morale on the team, and for their long-term health? Probably not. Forward-thinking companies have spent years saying they want to treat employees like whole people. Well, whole people fall in love, and sometimes whole people get their hearts broken. Providing a little space to recover, even a day or two, sends a powerful message. We see you, we trust you, we want you to come back when you're ready, and not barely just holding things together. And if we're going to have a little fun with the idea, maybe it's now the moment too to float the idea for another benefit. If heartbreak leave makes sense, maybe Valentine's Day itself should be a paid holiday. Give people time to celebrate relationships, spend time with the people who matter. Or yes, maybe even avoid the day entirely. Because if the last few years have taught us anything, it's that the world could probably use a bit more support for love. So as you head into this weekend, whether you're happily partnered, single, somewhere in between, or nursing your own wounds on the heart, I hope your workplace gives you the grace to be human. And from all of us here at the Workplace Minute, I wish you a wonderful Valentine's Day. Thanks so much for listening, and a big thank you to WorkHuman for supporting the Workplace Minute. If this episode made you think about if heartbreak leave is something that may help mend the broken hearts in your workplace, please share it with a colleague. I'm Steve Boese, and this has been the Workplace Minute from H3HR Advisors.